Hello, my beautiful souls. You are listening to the Messy Human Tarot, and I am your host, Ruby. What a day so far. So, for you, it is Monday. For me, it is, I don't even know. I do not even know what day it is. I literally thought it was Friday. And then I'm like, no, it's not. It's Thursday. So if you're having one of those days, I feel ya. I do. Because we are the Messy Human Tarot for a reason. We are, for sure, the Messy Human Tarot. So messy. It's unbelievable. And it's, I would say it's exhausting. So you get a lot of truth. Sometimes like the warm fuzzy kind, and sometimes the kind even I really don't like hearing. You know, like recently, okay, I call these energetic conversations with the universe. And I'll give you an example. Right now, the universe is giving me an energetic conversation right now. This has been going on for a while, but sometimes energetic conversations they start unconscious, where we get themes, relationships, situations, dynamics, whatever, work environments. And there is an ongoing conversation we're having with the universe. And so these conversations don't have to be verbal. Some people interact with the universe very directly with prayer work, and that's very valuable. You can have that kind of conversation. Good for you. Me, it's very much imagery. I get signs in half awake state and in dreams and signs and synchronicities. But also do things that people randomly say to me, like or just random thoughts just pop up in my head, or while I'm writing something down. And even like just movie lines. It's fabulous, for sure. So I've been having this conversation with the universe, and they've been talking to me about boundaries a lot lately. And they've honestly probably been having this conversation since I was a kid, right? Me and my higher self, they were talking to me and I wasn't listening, right? You know, actively. And so finally I kind of clued into what they were saying. And they said, you know, we've had this conversation with you before. And like, what are you talking about? Like, well, you just don't remember because you're human. And I'm like, yeah, so what? I'm human, so shoot me, right? Not for reals, by the way. By the way, you can always drop anything that doesn't resonate with you. I'm not legal, financial, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health. You got your own discernment. You got your own free will. You should be relying on that. I'm not a replacement for really good therapeutic services, medical services, you name it. Nah, they ain't me. Nah. Entertainment value only, girl and boy out there. But back to what I was saying is, I'm like, okay, all right, what have you been telling me repeatedly? They said, well, you like to think that you have to hate people or think badly of them in order to create this boundary of like this wall of safety away from them, right? And I'm like, wait, can you explain a little bit more? I'm confused here. And it's like, well, okay. So I'll give you an example of, we'll call him Eric, just made up name, based on a real situation. So Eric has a habit of, he's wearing his karma, basically. He behaves in certain ways that you're just not interested in developing a further friendship with. He's acquaintance material, basically. And you think because he's acquaintance material, you know, you don't want to get super heavily involved emotionally with this person. You think that, oh, I have to hate them, right? And this has been a thing too that has happened in other potential friends or or even like just work related stuff, and you think, oh well, I disagree with them, so I must have to not, like, I must think bad, like, you don't have to think badly of these people. You're allowed to have a boundary of, I don't feel like pursuing a friendship with this person. I do not feel like getting emotionally invested in any real deep level. They're not at the maturity level I need to have them as a friend. I need something more than this. And that is okay. You do not have to pursue that friendship. But at the same time, you do need to treat these people with respect. You do not have to shit on them and call them names or all this stuff. Don't go there. It's not good energy. It's not good vibes. And I'm like, oh, now I understand. You're right. I do have a habit of that. And so that's something the universe wants me to shift, is basically like, I'm allowed to not pursue individuals outside of a superficial level if I choose not to. But at the same time, I need to respect them, and I don't have to shit on them just because of, like, it's my way of protecting myself. Because when I was a kid, like, we were always told, like, go and hang out with that person, and they would tell them their sob stories, like, you should be friends with them, they don't have any friends, right? And you're like, but I don't really like that person, they kind of, like, they hit me. Well, you should think it from their perspective, they had a tough day. And I'm like, well, I had a tough day too, but you told me not to hit them. You told me not to hit my problems out. So why should I invite those people into my life? Because I don't want people hitting me when they're having a bad day. I don't hit people when I have a bad, you know what I mean? That's a prime example. And so when we're kids, we have no other way of protecting ourselves except through extreme responses and making it so aversive to our parents to even bring them in the same space as us. So I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a lot of behavior. Like, back when we were kids, the only way we could sometimes communicate in a way that our parents would sometimes actually listen, if, you know, not all, some actually listened before you got to this point, but some didn't. And so you had to get real bad behavior, and then the person would just disappear. And so you conditioned your parents that it wasn't a fun thing to have Billy over. You see my point? And so eventually they're like, well, it's not worth the time. It's not worth the energy. I just can't do it anymore. I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry. But we've tried to make these guys friends for a very long time, and they're just not having it. They're killing each other every single day. Like, they tear each other's eyeballs. They smack each other. I just don't know what to do. Like, we've done everything we can to make them nice to each other, and they're just not. And so they end the relationship because that extreme behavior got you can't even label it as manipulation. A lot of people might say, well, our kids are manipulators. I hate it when people say, my kid is trying to manipulate me. And it's like, well, is it, or is it, like, it has a function. It has a function. What is the function of that behavior? And very often as kids, our functions is to get access to things, is for attention, to get rid of things. There's another thing too. So oh shit, like, I'm an ABA and I should know this shit, right? But my brain's not working fully. So, but there's a function behind it. There's a purpose. There's a unidentified need. And so we have to say, as an adult, what is my identified need here? And I can say, well, I need a healthy boundary. I don't really feel like being buddy with him. I don't mind being his acquaintance. I don't mind that. But I don't feel like going down that poor as woe me train, because I've been there with other people and it didn't really work out, because that's all they do is emotionally dump on me. And, you know, because I have a past history of people doing that, right? And so you yourself too, you have experiences as an adult. Some of the stuff that was allowed when we were kids, they was allowed, right? Because your parents had needs too, and they were just trying their best to do whatever they were doing. But now we're adults, right? Now we're adults. Shit, man.
Am I having a heart-to-heart talk with one of you guys out there? Like, you're an adult right now. You are an adult. For whatever reason, the universe is using my real name. They're using my real name. They have not gotten to all of they haven't done my middle and my last name, so I really should be paying attention. It's something I need to pay attention to right now. And there's some throat chakra issues, and it's been coming up a lot lately, energetically, and I feel like it's a collective energetic conversation that a lot of us are having. It's not just me, it's so many other people out there. Like, hard truths are hard to communicate. Like, you feel bad, like you feel like there's something wrong, there's like you feel guilty because someone laid that on you when you were young and it wasn't fair, it was not right, and so you feel like there's something, like you feel almost dirty, like yucky, like queasy, weak in the knees and the ankles, and some of you in the stomach area too. But some of you feel like you get like almost like a low blood sugar drop when you have to set boundaries with someone, and like someone really, like you have someone in your current life that's actually verbally aggressive and just darn right nasty. Those people need to exit out. You need to expel that shit out. That's not okay. It's so not okay. Like, I see a horribly angry person yelling at you, and it's a female, and they're just screaming at you, and that ain't okay. That's not okay. That ain't flying. That should not fly. Just because they're having a shitty life does not mean they get to take it out on you. That's not okay. And I'm sorry you're going through that. I really am. And the universe is tugging my ears for a reason. Lately they've been doing that. Like they'll do a weird tugging, and they're trying to tug on. So those heartstrings are going on. Like there's a pity party going on. They're trying to pull in your heartstrings like a harp. The harp, and it's pay attention, observe how often in this relationship of yours between this person, you and her, that you've had, and they have the same song and dance to bring you back. And I know it's hard to say no, but the universe wants you to take care of yourself. I'm seeing the color yellow. Maybe get a little busy for a little while, right? Busyness is a great distractor to keep yourself away from some people. They're vicious, they're mean, and they're gonna use all kinds of tricks to pull your attention back, because that's what they do. They have no other way of healthily dealing with the fact that someone has presented the word no. And anyone that cannot handle the word no, I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable. We all have to be comfortable with the word no. And even when someone denies access to their energies, their time, their energy, like there's been plenty of people who've denied, like I've been denied access to people, right? Like friends that I really cared about, and I'm like, no, where are they now? And I'm like, I had to come to terms and accept that. And it's okay if people say no, just no, not anymore. Sorry, no, no, we're not doing this anymore. And okay, they're right. It's okay when people say no. And I hate it when people do this blame game, like they ghosted me. And that is their right to ghost you. They do not offer, we are not, you do not have the privilege. People do not, no, we do, no. I'm sorry, but it's like a privilege to be offered an explanation. And when your behavior has denied access to that privilege, you do not complain about being ghosted. And there's a lot of people out there I complained about being ghosted before, and there's a lot of good reasons I got ghosted. Okay, maturity and wisdom come with experience, but also to insight and reflecting actively. So if you're also having difficulty actively reflecting, this is another hard truth. You are the owner of your decisions. You are the owner of the consequences of those decisions. And I know it's tough to hear. I know it's very tough to hear. I don't like hearing it too. Do you think I like being told that I have behaviors that were toxic once upon a time? Nah, I did not like that. I did not like that. Nah. Nah. No and no. But guess what? I had to get comfortable with the word no. And you know what? It's very liberating once you accept other people's no's. Because when you accept other people's no's, you can actually be comfortable with you saying the word no and denying toxic people in your life access to you. And that's very powerful. We do need to learn to accept other people's no's, because when we accept their no's, we expect other people to accept our no's. It's no longer dangerous. It's no longer scary. It gets easier, guys. It really does. And there's still gonna be tough days, and you're still gonna wibble wobble and be tempted to bring that person back in your life. I still find that temptation on a regular basis. And like people, I'm like, oh, you know, it'd be just really easy to let them back in my life. It would just be really easy. I'm feeling the loneliness right about now, right? It'd be nice because then I can get out of the house, right? It'd be nice because then I can have someone watch the baby and I can just kind of chill for a bit, right? But like that temptation isn't worth it. It's not worth the agony, the pain that I would have to go through, you know, and then have to go through another phase of separation from that person, because that's what would happen. Oh, you know, they say it takes 21 days to break habit. It takes 21 tries, 7 tries for whoever, whatever, to get rid of a relationship. Like, sometimes that's the truth. And sometimes you just really, if you get that temptation, you cannot take it. You cannot. I cannot afford that temptation anymore as a parent. I cannot. I do not like that chaos in my life. I am trying to live a minimum chaos life. And right now I have chaos that I create on my own, right? So I really, really need to deal with my own before I can deal with another person's, right? Heart truth number 3 there. And good things do come in threes. They do. All right, so I'm getting to the point where I have to wrap up. I feel like someone's like wiped out. They're like, oh my God, why did you tell me all this? And they're like, girl, you need to learn to say no and accept no. You're okay. It's okay. It's going to be okay. Take a deep breath. Keep having that energetic conversation with God or whoever you believe in. Take another deep breath in. Release. You can take your time and keep having as many energetic conversations with God as you want, because He's going to keep coming around. God is good. He's patient. He's going to keep having these conversations with you. So it's okay if you don't listen sometimes. It's okay if you don't believe Him sometimes. Because let's be honest, there was a couple times where I'm like, yeah, whatever you said, God. Yeah. Like we do with our parents. We roll our eyes. I'm like, whatever. Have you ever done that? Whatever. You know, the whole teenage thing. Yeah, right. Whatever you said, Dad. Yeah. I mean, like, who has not said that? So many of us. Without further ado, you've all been a very big blessing. Check down below for my services. They are available, except the doula services are very limited. You can check in on that right now. I only have openings for 1 or 2 families, and that's it. There's a good reason why it's limited. Quality over quantity, I say. But marry me, blessed be, amen to good health, and toodaloo, you've been divine.